Are you a woman of faith who is struggling to navigate your current season of life? Do you feel like life is just happening to you instead of for you? My name is Jill Pack. I'm a certified life coach and a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I want you to know that no matter your season or circumstance, it is possible to create a more joyful life, and I would love to show you how. Are you ready? Let's go. Happy Tuesday, my friends. Welcome to the Seasons of Joy podcast. This is episode number 11, titled Abundant Focus. You can see a theme here, right? I'm still talking about abundance. I love this topic. The month of May has been about abundance, and I wanted to do this podcast a little bit differently. I have a story that I want to share with you that I learned some things through this story as I have been focusing more on abundance, if that makes sense. So by focusing on abundance, it just allowed me to see this story in a different way and just allowed me to pull some nuggets from it that have been really powerful for me. And I'm going to share with you 5 things that I learned from this story that I'm going to share with you. So last week, my husband and I went on vacation with some of our family. And we took our grandchildren and their parents to the beach in Florida. We visited extended family there. We had a great time, and we were able to explore as much of Disney World as we could physically do. That place is huge. We spent 5 days that were packed full of fun and exhaustion there. On the day we were scheduled to come home, though, my oldest daughter that was with us started feeling not great. She started feeling sick. It was a rough day for her, and we were traveling. And between managing packing up and her little one, and we were returning rental cars, and then add in everything that goes with trying to get to the airport, checking in, making it to your gate, getting on the plane, right? All of that. It was rough. And I felt so bad for her, especially as I'd see her laying on the floor of the airport while we were sitting in the chairs, just trying to get some relief, right? And I couldn't help her. I couldn't really help her feel better, but I could support her and love her as she pushed through this day like a champ. Well, when we finally landed back in Utah, we got to our car and we started to head home. Well, at this time, I started to feel not so great myself. My tummy started not feeling great. It actually kind of hurt. And I would soon realize that I was coming down with what my daughter had been experiencing. It's really hard to truly understand what someone's going through until we go through it ourselves, right? Well, we're on our way home and we decide to stop at a drive-thru to get some food for everybody in the car, except I was not up for it. I could not eat. And by the time we drove the next hour and a half drive, right? It took us an hour and a half to get home from the airport. And I was not feeling well. My stomach hurt so bad. I had this terrible stomach ache, and I just had a terrible night's sleep. I was up all night, and this continual stomach ache all throughout the night and into the next day. I haven't been that sick for a really long time, and I just wanted it to be over. I went to bed that night, the following night, right? The second night with this same stomach ache. I took something to help me go to sleep, which it did help. And when I woke up the next morning, I remember opening my eyes and thinking to myself, oh my goodness, I don't have a stomach ache. I actually feel normal. My stomach ache is gone. And the word I would use to describe how I felt was relief. This big sense of relief just washed over me. And I remember putting my hand on my heart as I looked out my bedroom window and just being so full of gratitude for this feeling of relief. It was such a vivid, tangible moment for me. I was fully present and just experiencing this moment of relief. It was beautiful. And I just keep going back to it over the last couple of days, just reflecting on this experience. And again, I have these nuggets that I want to share with you. 5 things that just kind of stood out to me as I've considered this story from a place of abundance. Number 1, this was a big reminder to me that we all have hard things. We all are doing the best we can as we navigate this earthly life. But we're going to have hard things. We're in different seasons and circumstances, and we're each having our own unique experience. And we can't totally understand one another's experience, but we can hold space for each other. We can comfort, support, and love our fellow travelers on this journey back home. Number 2, being sick and feeling so horrible is actually what made it possible for me to experience the beauty of the feeling of relief. Now, I'm not saying I loved feeling terrible and that I want to experience this feeling anytime soon, but this experience was a gift. I want you to consider hardship and happiness, struggle and overcoming, anxiety and peace, pain and relief, right? This contrast of life that we all have. There are 2 sides to every coin. The painful, hard experiences are what allow us to fully experience joy. And I've said this before. I really believe that we have come to this earth to experience this beautiful contrast. I know it sounds weird to say beautiful, but I really believe that this contrast is what makes life beautiful. Knowing the bitter allows us to truly savor the sweet. If we never experience hardship, struggles, or pain, we will never know what peace, joy, and happiness even feel like. Not only did I experience relief that Sunday morning, but I experienced gratitude as an extra bonus. It was amazing. I'm so grateful for the blessing of contrast in this life. It brings with it so much beauty and abundance. Number 3, as I've reflected on this experience and I've related it to other people and shared it with them, I've been actually able to create a similar emotion as I felt that morning when I was experiencing relief. By thinking about it, I could create that emotion or something like it within myself. Our emotions are truly created by what we think about and what we focus on. And this really became clear this morning in my meditation. I was doing a guided meditation by Brooke Snow on the Small Seed app. And it was about receiving our current blessings. And in this meditation, Brooke offers the invitation to reflect on a blessing in our life, either from the past or the present. She invited us to close our eyes and just breathe in and out. And we were encouraged to picture this particular blessing in our mind. We were asked to look for it, see it, hear it, smell it, feel it, just embrace it, welcome it, right? Just open ourselves up to the abundance of that particular blessing. Well, she went on to repeat this invitation 2 more times. We were invited to consider 3 blessings that we either experienced or were currently experiencing. Now, as you may guess, one of those blessings that I reflected on was this experience that I had this last week of feeling relief, right? This experience of meditation and reflecting on that, again, provided me an opportunity to create and enjoy that feeling of relief again. Do you ever pay attention to how you are feeling as you go throughout your day? Do you pause and consider what it feels like? Whatever emotion you have, what does it feel like for you? Or do you just go through the motions of your day? What emotions do you want to create? What emotions do you want more of in your life? And if you want to create more gratitude, joy, and abundance in your life, I want to extend this same invitation to you. I want you to pause for a moment, no matter where you are. I invite you to close your eyes and just be still. Breathe in and out and reflect on a past or current blessing that you have in your life. Can you see it? Can you be with it? Can you hear it? Can you feel it? Now, this doesn't take more than a few seconds, right? But can you see the possibility of creating more by receiving what you already have? And number 4, when we find ourselves getting caught up in the mundane of life, it's so easy to lose sight of the abundance in our lives, right? And this causes us to view life from a place of scarcity and lack. And then we just close ourselves off and block ourselves from seeing how abundant we really are. I'm sitting in my office right now doing this podcast on my computer, which allows me to share my thoughts with you. Isn't that amazing? You're somewhere totally different than me, and I get to talk into this microphone and it records everything I say, and then I get to share my thoughts with you. And this morning, I went on this beautiful hike today with some friends. We went on this trail that some people made for all of us to use at any time. And this trail is along a river that just runs by it and provides water, beauty, and power to the whole community. And I got in my car this morning. I got to the trail by my car this morning, right? My car took me there. I just got in, I pushed a button, it started, and I could go anywhere I wanted. And I was driving on roads that people made so that I could connect with people and places, with friends and loved ones. And while I'm recording this episode, there are people here installing new shades on some of my windows. Shades that will allow me to let light in or close them for privacy whenever I want. And those windows in my house allow me to look out and see the beautiful view of Cache Valley while I'm safe and warm and peaceful in my house. I can see the blue skies, the mountains, the green grass, the trees, right? When we take the time to pause and really view what we already have from a place of gratitude, we open ourselves up to experiencing the abundance that is in our lives right now. And it helps us open the door to discovering what else is possible. What else is out there for us when we approach life from abundance that we already have. Number 5. One of my most favorite and oft-repeated quotes is by President Russell M. Nelson, who is the prophet of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He says, "The joy we feel has little to do with the circumstances of our lives and everything to do with the focus of our lives." When we are focusing on what we don't have, or I would also add, when we aren't even focusing at all, but we're just going through the motions and getting stuck in the mundane, we can't experience joy or abundance. Our brains get stuck and just naturally want to focus on what we lack and what we don't want. Let's say I tell you, don't think of a zebra. My guess is you probably had a zebra pop into your mind. If I said, don't think of a red car, you probably pictured a red car in your mind. This is exactly how the brain works, and it's totally normal. We all do it, right? It works at finding what we're focusing on. That's its job, is to offer up what we're focusing on. It's helping us, right? But instead of telling us what not to focus on, or telling our brain what not to focus on, the better way is to tell it what to focus on. And then your brain is going to go looking for that. And you may ask, why does this matter? And the answer is because what we focus on is who we become. And who do you want to become? I invite you to consider how your life would be different if you could receive the abundance you already have. And then ask yourself, what else could you create from that abundance? And what would you need to focus on in order to do that? I want to thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, I would love it if you would share it with your friends and family and leave me a review. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to learn more about what life coaching is, I invite you to schedule a free discovery call with me where we can work through something that's causing you a problem. Just go to seasons-coaching.com. You can learn more about my one-on-one coaching program, Seasons of Joy, or my group coaching program, which is Seasons of Joy Community. This month's topic has been the season of abundance, and in June, we're going to be talking about the season of fun. I have included a link in the show notes. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.